Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Champions Cup, and we are down to the tough part of the competition, the quarterfinals. Toulouse taking on the Sharks, the South African side last week. They did very well in their contest. To lose the same, someone is going to lose today. And the question is, will it be the home side or will it be the South African side? A long way from that South African soil. Looking through at the starting lineup for the Toulouse side, it will be Sirbai, Pito Malvaka, and Dorian Aldeagri in the front row. The thing that I notice about this side is any team that can have Huria Moshon coming off the bench, pretty decent in the front row department, as they have got Malvaka as the starting man to get us underway for this matchup. Richie Arnold and also Mifu there as the two in the locks. Jack Willis, Flamand, and Cruz there as the loose forward trio. Then Dupont and Intermac, a very good combination for the French, and also for this Toulouse side, Lebel, Aki, Barassi, Juan Cruz Malia, and Thomas Ramos will be the last men in that starting side. Then for the South Africans, Oxnashare, Bongi Umbanambi, and Thomas Tatoy as the front row. Then in the locks, it will be Hiram Andrews and Robala. Then Sia Khaleesi, Vincent Tachuka, and also Noche. But there is no Ebenezebeth in that front row, or sorry, not in the front row, in that forward pack for the South Africans. Something to be a little bit concerned about getting close to the World Cup. Grant Williams, Kuan Bosch, Makazole Mapimpi, Jansi van Rensburg, Luke Hayoam, and Werner Kok there with Biota Chamberlain, the last two men in the starting lineup. We got Justin S. said, how's it? Welcome in, mate, and shocking from the Rebels tonight. But Carter Gordon is definitely making a claim to Eddie Jones, says Xavier Brown there. Yeah, the Rebels, they did so well in that first half, and then the second half hit, and I don't know what happened, but something went very wrong. And yeah, that game no longer ended up close, which was a shame because I thought it was going to be quite a close game overall, just like I hope this game is, because the Sharks on the road in France, this is an experience that they haven't had to deal with before. They have played in the URC, so they've played in Ireland, they've played in Scotland, in Wales, in Italy, but they have not played in France yet. First game up against one of the top sides in the top 14, though. Not going to be an easy task. Come on, the Sharks, says Gareth, and having no hookers in the second half hurt us, says Xavier Brown. Yeah, just losing not just the hookers, but also you lost a couple props as well, didn't you? I think you lost, what's his face? I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Did Ponefa Masili go off with an injury as well? I think he might have. Great win for the Sharks. Emphatic, says Deborah. And the Rebels forwards are not up to it. I was there tonight, says Joe Webby. Yeah, they did lose quite a few of their players early on, which I think really didn't help with the chemistry that they were trying to build with those players who did start. The Blues, they didn't have the best half. Once Bowden Barrett started doing well with his kicking, that was when it really became evident of those gaps in behind in the Rebels' defence. And Pone injured, says Xavier. So, yeah, there's a list of about 5 players who are out now. I didn't know we cannot play our semi on home soil. This sucks, says Roloff. And there is, it's all down to the rankings, unfortunately, because the Sharks didn't finish high enough. It means that no matter what, they are going to be on the road again, which just makes it a little bit more of a hurdle to hurdle over. But then if they win it at the end, that makes it that much more impressive for the Sharks. Same can be said about the Stormers, although I think they're a little bit luckier depending on some of their games. And I've never seen Barrett so bad at kicking off the tee. Oh, the Kiwis, he's been pretty close to it in the past. I believe, 2 off 6 or somewhere around there seems to be not too far out of Bowden Barrett's kicking abilities at times, but I think he was about 2 from 8 today. Something along those lines. See Khaleesi having a bit of a sing-song as they're about to make their way out onto the field. We have currently got the French commentary, so to be honest, I have no idea what's being said, but I would assume that they're building this game up to be a very big, hectic match. Rugby Dupont has grown the facial here, especially for this game. See Khaleesi, he's got his beard all year. He doesn't have to worry about that side of things. But Springboks, very prominent in the Shark side. French internationals, very prominent in this Toulouse side. It's going to be a great game. And to both sides now making their way out of the tunnel for this match. The weather looks fine, which is great news. We aren't going to have to deal with any rainy conditions, any slippery balls should all be fine, which does mean we're going to get to see some great running rugby. But the question is, will Toulouse play right into the game of the Sharks? I've said there's a lot of questions in this game, and there are. First time ever we get to see these two sides play off. It's a special occasion. But Sia Khaleesi, he's got to try and work out what tactics Toulouse are going to use. I assume that Intermac will be a key here, alongside Thomas Ramos. And Toulouse are going to lose. Says Bad Blaze and Gareth Ferguson, come on, you Sharkies. They've ever got rugby made a deal. If any rugby side in top, they have to play in Europe, I think, says Roloff in there. And I guess that is something that, if that is the case, that's a little bit fair enough to a certain extent, seeing as it is at this stage the European Rugby Championship. They want to make sure that they're making friends rather than making enemies in the first season. And then maybe a little bit later on, you can try out, see whether or not you can head down south to SA. That was Anthony Geelong. He is not playing in this game. A wild flesh appeared, says Gareth. Northern Hemisphere Rugby versus Southern Hemisphere Rugby. Going to be a great matchup. My eyes are extremely bloodshot. Some of you guys might be able to see it from where you are. Maybe, depending on the lighting. I think my eyes are going to be red by the end of these two live streams. And then we've got the sevens tomorrow that we are covering. I was working on those during the break. A Broken Blaze has limped into the chat, says Padza Blaze, and there as well. Now, hopefully you keep on icing it, unless ice makes it worse, of course, but you get that heat pack on it. Hopefully that will reduce some of the pain and the swelling and whatnot. Now we have got a minute's silence here before we get into the matchup. I should mention there is another game coming directly after this one. That will be Stormers taking on the Exeter Chiefs. Combination of teams that, once again, first time ever, we're going to get to see them take place. I would just like this to be known, win or lose, to lose. Did you come up with that yourself, Gareth? Because that's got, the thing is, it's got a ring to it, but it's one that I cannot say. And thank God you didn't broadcast their sevens game against New Zealand. I was first mad, but after I was glad, says Roloff there. So yeah, New Zealand are going on to face off against Great Britain. South Africa are actually playing off up against the Irish in the 9th place quarterfinals. And that same island side lost 3 games in a row. Hi from Switzerland, says Karma Beach. Welcome in. And F the French, in fact, says Sebastian. People don't seem to be much of a fan of the French, it would seem. But we have got the countdown 3, 2, 1, and we are now underway, ladies and gentlemen, for this match. Kuhn Bosch to kick it off for the Sharks in Toulouse. It's gone relatively short, but it looks like the home side have been able to retain the ball. Now it is going to be Dupont. Puts up the low kick rather than the box going flat, trying to get them down in the attacking zone. But now instead, Kuhn Bosch will be running the ball back at the line. And can one sweat in England? Is it possible? Man's never hot. And a woman slightly sweaty fleshing. And also, yeah, if the Frenchie says Blues Nate, it's going to be kicked high by Dupont there this time. And for this one to stop rolling awkwardly all. Now, Kuhn Bosch was very close to knocking that ball on, and I think he's gotten away with that one, maybe because there was no one else back there. Makazole Mapimpi almost driven into touch with some physicality from the French early on. Bongyumbanumbi charging forward nicely here now. It's going to be rolled back for Grant Williams, who will be putting up the box kick. Taking his time, making sure he gets it right. It has gone just into the half of Toulouse now. It's contestable. It's going to be going up to Hiron Andrews now. Around the side, Grant Williams thought he'd go with the pick and go, but already there was Dupont. Reading the play extremely well early on for Toulouse. And you can see the territory battle already has started to play. Kuhn Bosch kicking it deep inside of the 22. Good take. No, Ramos puts it down, so he isn't able to take the mark. Instead, we'll have to kick this one back downfield towards the touchline. Taken in the field of play by Makazole Mapimpi. Now inside ball to Kuhn Bosch. Taken down once again by, I believe that would have been Francois Cruz. And Sharky shut them up, says Roloff. At the moment, I'll be honest, I've still got French commentary. I have no idea what they're saying, but it's almost kind of cool because then I have to rely heavily on what I'm saying rather than sometimes hearing that little bit of what the commentator is saying. A nice backline movement there into the midfield. Peter Aki with the ball. Short side again. Ramos with the skip pass. A lot of space starting to open up here for Lebel. He was close to the touchline. Ball on the inside. Going straight over the top. He's had too many weak bits in the morning, that man. Kicked into the back of the head of Francois Cruz. That's something you don't see every day. But Grant Williams through, went for the ball on the outside to Mapimpi, but it was well marked by Juan Cruz Malia. This game's starting at a fast pace, ladies and gentlemen. Can see why Toulouse is a top club in French rugby. I don't even follow the Northern Comps that much, says Simi Souza. Yeah, you can certainly see from the way that they played this first 2.5 minutes, when they get an attacking chance, they take it. When they can force you back, they take it. Their defense seems strong. It's going to be a tough game for the Sharks, but they're showing they're well and truly up for the task here with that beautiful run up the middle from Grant Williams. Then just couldn't quite find that last pass off to Makazole Mapimpi that would have sealed the deal. Apparently the scoreboard is still on strike. That's all right. Hopefully it does start updating relatively soon in the near future. What we do is we go like this, and like this as well. There we go. And there we go. Okay, I still have French commentary. I thought that would work, but it didn't. And Savas always overconfident. Then nowhere to be seen afterwards, says Canvas Bed. Yeah. Oh, nice run from, it was Bongium Manambi though, only 5 meters out from the line. Oxnashare just knocking that ball on. Diving over the breakdown, I believe that would have actually been Peter Aki who was able to get in there. No, it might have been instead Pieton Malvaka. And Leinster play well. They did, getting themselves that victory and now moving on to the next stage of the competition. That was a massive dive for the big man. I was sweating right last night with the Scarlets. Says Flesh in there. Depends on that occasion. Flesh in as well. But yeah, Leinster, one of the 4 sides confirmed in the Champions Cup semi-finals, which will be taking place in about a month's time, I believe it is. We've got a bit of the URC, Gallagher Premiership, Top 14, etc. before we get back into the action. 4 minutes gone in this one. Carl Dixon just having a bit of a conversation about the scrum with the front rows. 904 kgs of the Sharks sounds large till you read 943 kgs of Leinster. That is an extra 40 kgs advantage. See whether or not they can use it though. Antoine Dupont, no, both sides standing up there. I think there was Jack Willis who was actually on the blind side complaining about what was happening for the Sharks, but I would have thought that the blind side wouldn't have had too much to do with the front row that he was asking about. So I guess he is just maybe fired up early, we'll assume. Both sides very dangerous when they get themselves open play. Same can be said about the 2 sides later on. The Exeter Chiefs taking on the Sharks, or sorry, the Stormers. We'll be covering that game on the channel as well in 2 hours, 22 minutes. Now Dupont feeds the ball in for Toulouse. We roll back nicely now. Ball available off the back. Francois Cruz goes around into Mac. Nice ball on the outside. Now Juan Cruz Malia, the Argentine international, boots it way downfield. Nicely taken by Kerwin Bosch, who was waiting for it down by the 22. Now looking for the kick straight down the middle of the field. Is it going to get a stiff bounce? Looks like it is going to be rolling awkwardly for Romain. Into Mac, puts the ball down, takes the goal line dropout. This game is good for South African French rugby. We never play each other, says roll off. And yeah, this is the first time ever that these 2 sides will get to play off in a Champions Cup, and actually the first time ever that these 2 sides will be playing. So a bit of history being made today. And I mean, it's always, I guess you could say, always great to have the first win over a new opposition. Like it could become a quiz question in a 50 years' time. Who won the first clash between, or that's a bit of a loose ball. Yeah, who won the first clash between the Sharks and Toulouse back in 2023, which is where we are. That's going right down. Thomas Ramos kicks it across to his teammate. That is some skill with the boot there. The ball didn't roll nicely, though. It could have been a bit of trouble for Toulouse, but they seem like they've been able to handle it relatively well. Kerwin Bosch, he managed to slap that ball back. Both sides actually going with the unorthodox styles there. Slapping the ball back for the Sharks, kicking the ball back for Toulouse. Good football skills from Thomas Ramos. And into Mac with a good clearing kick downfield. 7 minutes into this contest at the moment, neither side able to score a point, but this game will be flying by with the fact that they're both playing quite fast-paced rugby at the moment. But Bongi Umbanambi now about to throw this ball in. Goes into the hands of Hiron Andrews. Williams across to Bosch. Thought about the inside ball to Cock, but he didn't quite get there. So Williams has to pick up and now gives it off to Makazole Mapimpi. Oh, Juan Cruz Malia, he will not be continuing this game. I can tell you that right now. He's taken a heavy head knock. South African side, the Sharks, trying to make the most of it, going to that short side where he is injured. Thomas the Toy now crashing at the line. I tackle upright penalty advantage in favour of the Sharks. Once again, going off to the side with Juan Cruz Malia. Going to be thrown forward. Right, time is off. Juan Cruz Malia is going to need some medical attention here. Unfortunately, taking a very heavy knock when Makazole Mapimpi cut back in, head on head. The thing is, I know this sounds really bad. I hope he is all right, first of all. But head on head, does he get a yellow card or a red card here? Because of the fact that he doesn't dip. Direct head contact. They're calling it a red card here. I thought that it might be the case. Late change of direction, so that might be the only thing that saves him. Probably at least a yellow, though. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to continue after said yellow. Upright. What are they deciding? The only thing that sounded like they were going to change it from a red to a yellow was the fact that he had a quick change of direction. But it's still red with head on head, isn't it? They're asking if there's a mitigating factor because of the change of direction. The year was 2056. You partake in a pub quiz, and the answer comes up. Who won Champions Cup quarterfinal between Toulouse and the Sharks in 2023? Can't remember what you had for breakfast. Yeah, probably the case, isn't it? 2 steps, yellow card here. Now, this is going to be something that some people will call controversial, with it being a yellow rather than a red card. So the reason they've said it's only a yellow, and I want to say that this is not me saying this is me relaying the message. The reason that they are saying that it is only a yellow is because Makazole Mapimpi has gone from stepping on the outside, stepping inside twice, which has then meant that Juan Cruz Malia has not had as much time to be able to react to the situation. But I believe he's going to be off the field anyway. I assume it's still a yellow card, though, but I haven't seen a yellow come up, because who do you yellow? Well, you yellow card Juan Cruz Malia, of course, but once he has finished his 10 minutes, I believe they'll bring something else, or someone else, sorry, out onto the field. Not wrong, sir, says Blues Nate. And also looking sharp, sir. Nate as well. I've always liked Sebastian's badge from the start when he had it. Although it never used to be that, did it, Sebastian? Right back at the start, I swear you had something else. And it had some little design in the middle that I can't quite remember, which I feel bad about, but it was different, wasn't it? And then you did switch it about maybe a year ago, somewhere around there. Kerwin Bosch, though, lining up the first kick of the day. And it's gone over. So the Sharks are going to have themselves a 3-0 lead over Toulouse, taking the lead. Very handy. Have the early points. The Sharks are fighting for McIntosh, says Deborah. And there as well. What we do is we go like this, and we go like this as well. Anyone wondering, there is actually also a under-19 or under-18 Six Nations tournament going on at this exact same time. So it's quite cool. There's a lot of rugby happening at the moment, and we are not going to be covering all of it, of course, but we are covering as much as we can. 10 minutes into this game, Sharks inside of their own 22 with this ball. Looks like Grant Williams will be rolling it back, getting ready for the box kick. And looks slick AS. Sebastian profile pick, like a boss. Here's Blues Nate, kick downfield. Gone into touch, so they have got 10 minutes of the yellow card to lose, so the Sharks will be trying to make the absolute most of it. It was an urban graffiti stain with the letters SG, but I reckon this badge looks better. I think it does too. I love a gold on black. Like, I feel like if I was to ever do anything to do with clothing, don't know whether that's merch or anything else, I feel like it would be gold on black, just because I think those colors are very good. Also yellow with black. Good combo. You can tell I like yellow, can't you? Now, Pietro Malvaca, in fact, it's Arki who has to clean up that one for Toulouse. And even with 14 men, he was crawling forward there a little bit, but wasn't held, so was able to. We run forward now from Miafu, kicking in behind, finding a little bit of space, and Dupont does get it into touch. So trying to play the territory game here once again, but he wasn't too far away there, Matthias Lebel, from being able to get to it. I forgot what I was saying beforehand, but it was a very good kick from Dupont. Oh, I was saying how even with 14, Toulouse are an extremely dangerous side, which I think the Sharks are going to be finding out here as they keep on getting forced just that little bit closer to their goal line. And then builds that little bit more pressure. Then if the mistake comes, Toulouse will be able to capitalize. Committing 5 men to the line out, going to the front to Hiron Andrews. Now Bongion Manambi going across now to Notchia. Good run forward from him, tackled by Rimmon into Mac. Now Williams back into the pocket to Bosch. He will be looking for the clearing kick. It looks like it's going to be a relatively good one as well. Do they take it quickly? Yes, they do, the French. Trying to keep this game alive. Thomas Ramos. Now ball on the outside to Lebel. Then the cock almost got his head on the wrong side there, but he's managed to do well, making the tackle. Rough pass there from, I think that was Pietro Malvaca decided that he wanted to be halfback, and straight away now Dupont says no more of that. Counter ruck there from Oxnashire. Locks himself over the ball. The clean turnover, though, for the Sharks, which does mean they now get the ball back. Going to be fired out to the left-hand side. To Chuka. Now Notchia goes out to Chamberlain here. Bongi Umbanumbi. In fact, it was Makazoli Mapimpi with him, and he's knocked the ball on in the process there for the Sharks. And that is something that will be disappointing for the away side. They had a good attacking opportunity, but just let it slip through their fingers, literally. Straight through for Biota Chamberlain. Just got it knocked out. That was actually on the ground from Aki. How's the crowd there? It looks like it's relatively full. I don't think I've seen any empty seats as of yet from the angles that I've seen, although I was more concentrated on the French commentary for the before match kind of thing. But yeah, I don't see any empty seats there next to the ground anyway. Possession at the moment, 67% in favour of the away side, the Sharks. I'm not sure of the stadium capacity, though, but I'd assume it's about maybe 30,000 that they've been able to get in attendance for this match. Another scrum taking place in this game now. The extra 40 kgs in favour of Toulouse. They have now once again got the feed. It is going in nicely. Oh, Grant Williams tries to kick it out of their hands. I thought they made a new rule that said you had to be a metre back, or was that in sevens? Now Thomas Ramos in open space. Ball on the outside. Here comes Lebel, the pace of the speedster. But he's being caught 1 metre out for the line. Look for the offload. It was forward. Ramos claims that they're going to have to check this one, but that was brilliant work from Lebel until he was caught by Makazoli Mapimpi. Right. It seems like they're claiming this one. Yeah, that seems like it's a dirty play from Grant Williams off the scrum, trying to kick it out of the hands of the halfback. That can probably get him in a bit of trouble. But Lebel, speed down the wing. Mapimpi, put on the afterburners that has travelled forward from Lebel, and that will be no try. Knock on that will actually be considered. Even though Ramos was claiming it, maybe went forward by about half a metre, so they'll have to go back. But great work from Makazoli Mapimpi. Tried to find the offload, and he just didn't quite get it out. And Lebel's reaction should have summed it up. They shouldn't have had to check that, really, with the fact that he did look very disappointed. I think that's what the commentators have just said. When the guy who's gone for the pass goes, puts his hands in his head. Hands in his head in his hands. Other way around. Putting your hands in your head, that would be quite tricky. Although I know that some people can fit their fist in their mouth. I don't think my fist would go in. No, wouldn't. Fire up the Sharks, says Blues Nate, and also the Sharks from a young 21 there as well. And we will be going back. Knock on by number 11 red, which is Lebel, who almost, he had so much pace. I think they're just checking this one again. Yeah, it goes forward. Clearly forward. They'll be able to get on with that, and it is going to be a scrum to the Sharks 5 metres out from their own line. The crowd are going to be disappointed that it's no try, but anyone with at least a little bit of eyesight can normally tell that that was forward. but the crowd weren't happy at all. But I guess depending on where they're sitting, that may have looked backwards in that case. But yeah, from TMO decision, they worked out travel forward. Match is going to continue on now. And it is going to be a 5-meter scrum for these Sharks, but they're in a very dangerous position on the field. Sharks are looking good today. Good weather in France, good times. There's young 21, Babongi Manambi, waiting for the Toulouse front row to come over. And fired up as well. Of course, they haven't got their big muscle man in their forward pack, Ebenezer missing with an injury. Doubts for whether or not he will be at the World Cup, which is concerning. As, I mean, who didn't want to see him and RG Snyman having a bit of a go together out there on the park? Also, Sebastian with the Bearsies from Fleshen there as well, but currently 16 minutes through this matchup. It's been flying by, like I mentioned. Scrum feed for the Sharks. Best case scenario here, they win a penalty. And Kerwin needs to pull finger today. There's Gareth there for Grant Williams feeding the ball in. Big push there from the Sharks. They win the penalty. I said it was the best case scenario. And they've just been able to replicate that. Looks like Juan Cruz Malia, he's got 3 minutes. Is he going to, I don't know if he's going to be able to continue this match, but he looks like he's going to be all right. He took a very heavy head knock. But they seem like they want to continue using him if he's available. Now, Kerwin Bosch going to kick this one for the touchline here. The Sharks fly half. Once again, good distance. Now, Juan Cruz Malia looks like he's got about 3 minutes remaining. And looks like he's going to come back out on the field. So they must have done a very quick HIA. Said, what's your name? Where you from? What are you doing here? And then he must have got them all right. Toulouse by 20 points, mate. Says Danston, and Google says the stadium has a 35k capacity. Okay, so 30,000 guests wasn't too bad overall. But yeah, I'd say that they've got at least 30,000 in attendance for this game. Oh, Kerwin Bosch passes off to Lukaniwamu, almost knocked the ball on, went for the grubber and behind, kicks it into touch. And that'll be about 48 metres out from their own line. And I heard a Toulouse player's mother, I heard the Toulouse mother's players were hamsters. Is that an insult? I feel like hamsters are quite cool animals, aren't they? Like, they're kind of not a guinea pig, but they kind of are as well. They're a little bit bigger, aren't they, than a guinea pig? They run on that. Oh no, they're smaller, are they? You got to fit them in a wheel. That's the hard thing. Oh, that one's going to be a loose ball. It's come off the head, I think, of one of the French players, so it will now be available for the Sharks to use their backline. Lucanio arm goes across to Kerwin Bosch, going to be charged down there. Now sits up beautifully for Janssen van Rensburg. Big fend from, there's Tuchoka. Now off to the left-hand side. Pressure coming from the Sharks. Nochia through, but it's obstruction. Unfortunately, bit of obstruction down their wing side. I think France have taken that one quickly. Kicking it downfield, massive distance made. Not quite a 50-22, but very close to it. Great kick downfield from Toulouse, deciding to take it quickly, playing that territory game still, like I mentioned a bit earlier on, but not yet. He was all excited, about to score himself a try in the Champions Cup. But unfortunately, there was just a little bit of obstruction with one of his teammates that stopped him from being able to go through that gap nicely. Yeah, it was Makazole Mapimpi, unfortunately, who got that one wrong. Not share his try, but 19 minutes gone now. Toulouse, they took the quick tap and they kicked it downfield. Who's the ref? Need to know who to blame later. It is Carl Dixon, the name that you are after there, Gareth. Now, 19 minutes in. I believe Toulouse are back up to 15 men on the field as well. Great pressure put on there by the Sharks. They have got the clean turnover as well. It was Janssen van Rensburg who got in there. Big run from Nochia. Didn't quite get his try before, but he'd love to get one now. Byron Andrews goes across. There's an injury at the moment for the Sharks as well on back play. Andrews once again plays halfback. Goes off to Oxnashag Robala. Now to Makazole Mapimpi. Boots it downfield on his left boot. Once again, some great football skills from Thomas Ramos. Getting across to Intermac. Putting it in behind. Waiting for the bounce of the ball there. Lucanio arm goes across to Kerwin Bosch, who sliced it badly, but he still managed to get some decent distance on it, down to about 38 from their own line here. That man looks very disappointed with that kick. Didn't quite go the way that he would have liked there. Kuon Bosch tried a bit of a banana boot and just squiffed it. Best way of describing it. But we're a quarter of a way through this match. 3 points. The only ones that we've seen on the board, it looks like now. There's a little bit of attention being. Who's that? That's not Khaleesi. That is Jansi van Rensburg, who is down from that angle. I saw some of the strapping on the arm and thought it looked a little bit like the strapping that Khaleesi goes with, mainly because of that elbow pad I only got to see from there up. Smaller, says Karma Pets. Or Karma Peach for how big a hamster is compared to a guinea pig. Yeah, because hamsters, what else is there? There's a hamster, there's a guinea pig, there's a, what else do you have in that kind of grouping? There's another type, isn't there? That's not like a mice or anything. Or mouse multiple if you've got mice in it. Jansi van Rensburg just getting a bit of medical attention, I believe. When he did get cleaned out here, he might have just taken an awkward land. Yeah, that ankle. Oh, that knee just went the wrong way. Capybara. There's Anthony Walsh there. Oh, Capybara. Says Anthony and Kerwin. Just play the game, brother, says Roloff. Yeah, his leg being awkwardly Van Rensburg. You can understand why he was in a bit of discomfort, because that wasn't the way the leg is supposed to bend. Crowd are booing him because they're taking long to strap him up, but I think they'd much prefer he was all strapped up than see his ankle dangling off to the side. A chinchilla. There's Barry there, and this could be somewhat of a preview of the Rugby World Cup knockouts. France, New Zealand, South Africa, and Ireland are highly likely to meet. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that all of the good sides, or all of the top 4 sides, are on the same side of the draw. They've mentioned now that they want to do the draws a little bit closer to the actual World Cup, which isn't a bad idea. In fact, it's a very good one, seeing as a lot can change in a short amount of time. Pietro Malvaca has this one at the back now for Toulouse. Sharks trying to defend and trying to use that physicality I'm noticing throughout that first 20 minutes to not feel intimidated by Toulouse. They've got the penalty advantage at the moment. Now into Mac. Nice looping play. Here comes Lebel again. He's just too quick when he gets a bit of space, but when he just shut down, that is when the Sharks have to look for that turnover. Dupont. Oh, that's high. Very high from Makazole Mapimpi. Or in fact, sorry, Bongi Banambi. Almost got him above the head. That's how high that was. Just got penalty only. They're just having a check upstairs maybe for this one from Umbanambi. He did decide that he did like the haircut of Dupont and wanted to try and rip it off with his arm. Yeah, it was arm and road up over the head, so I believe that is why. Yeah, that's a penalty only. You can't say anything more than a penalty. Yeah, that should be fine. I don't see that as anything more than a pen. So they are going to be going for the 3 points by the looks of it here for Toulouse. Equal the playing field, get it back to 3-all. Looks like a beautiful afternoon in France, I have to say. We're currently getting into our nice winter period here in New Zealand. We're sitting 7 degrees Celsius at the moment. But I feel like I've got the normal Kiwi attire, which is shorts on at this hour of the night. It's currently also 2:30 a.m. So I make good life decisions, I think. Ramos going to be lining up this one. Easy enough for him. Goes over. Leading point scorer for the Six Nations they just mentioned as well. That kick has gone straight through the posts. And also, we have got there Gareth with the young 21 with the laughing there as well. But yeah, the crowd does look packed. Packed in like sardines. There's a few other players for Toulouse, the likes of a Yui Antonio who's not playing in this game. Geelong also not going to be playing. And I think there was Flamor with him as well. Right, kicked off by Toulouse. Kicking down towards the 22. Oh, sorry, in fact, kicked off by the Sharks. My apologies. Thought about the big offload. Huge individual. Kind of reminds me, Miafo, of Tai Tuivasa from the UFC. We're exactly 17-2. And had a Kiwi who worked for my company here in the UK, would finish late shift at 11 p.m. and stroll down the road and flip-flops. That sounds like a Kiwi/Aussie thing to do, doesn't it? Like, that's the thing. The amount of people out will be like 1, 2, 3 degrees, and they'll just be in like, yeah, like you said, flip flops, shorts, t-shirt, singlet probably. That's going to be a penalty going the way of the Sharks. That is for offside against Toulouse. Now, this is right on the edge of Bosch's range in South Africa. Seeing as we are in France, I don't believe he will have the distance that he would require to be able to get it all the way to the posts. Or does he? It looks like he might take it on here. Is he going to? I'm not sure. If he does, I'll be very impressed because, like I mentioned, it's normally right on the edge of his range in South Africa for it being on the halfway line on the angle. Going to take it on. Fair play to Bosch. It's going to be entertaining for us not involved in that side of the draw. Every game will count for something, says Flesh, and exactly right. And I feel like it helps those sides on the other side of the draw build up early momentum. Because if you can start winning your group stage matches, you go into, I guess the earliest would be a semi-final up against one of those sides on this side of the draw. Like if you've won all your games up to that point and you look good while doing it because you haven't been fully, I guess, challenged to your full potential, that will benefit you. You'll have less injuries more than likely. You'll have less fatigue. Should be good to go. You can kick this as Roloff and Durban on the coast. That one is missed out to the side. For Bosch, hooked it away to the left, maybe trying to put a little bit of extra oomph on it rather than the accuracy. And also Durban on the coast. He can kick this. Yeah, I got that around the wrong way, didn't I? I went with the team that plays at altitude rather than the Sharks, who are down south. Still missed it, unfortunately, out to the side, though, for Bosch. Won't be happy with that one, but it is going to be kicked downfield. Nice, awkward, bouncing ball. Sharks cleaning up, though, with Chamberlain, who puts it high. Looks like that's Notchia chasing after it. Oh, taken in the air. That might be the advantage in favour of Toulouse. Only just taken in the air, I believe, unless the timing was perfect, which they have said maybe it was. Now, Bosch puts the ball up high again, just playing that territory game between these two sides. It's going to be a repetitive trend of this game. Oh, great kick from Thomas Ramos. That ball just kept on rolling. Now, Makazole Mapimpi thought about going for the kick, but decided instead to go off to Bosch, which was a good decision, although Bosch now having a bit of a run there. Going through Bosch. Brilliant run up to the halfway line. Inside ball to Grant Williams. Pins his ears back. He's going all the way, Grant Williams. And that is a brilliant decision made by Bosch to decide to run for that one rather than kicking it. Makazole Mapimpi was going to kick it 5 meters out from his own line. And Bosch shouted for it. Saw the gap and the pace that Grant Williams possesses to be able to be on the inside and ready for that support run. Very good work. Let's go. The Sharks. Here's Blues. Nate goes through. And then when you see Grant Williams on your inside, you know that you've got someone who's going to outpace most of the defenders, which is what he was able to do. The ankle tap was not successful. Dupont was not able to catch him either. And the Sharks now taking the leg, getting the conversion as well, making the score 10 points to 3. Now, this would be a massive, massive win for the Sharks because they are currently on away soil. So to be able to win this game up against Toulouse, who are normally known for doing extremely well at home, would be a big one. And Electric Grant says Young 21, and that was smooth commentary, says Nate. That's the thing. I feel like my brain somehow is still working, even though it is 2:30 a.m. My eyes are about as bloodshot as they've ever been, but there's still enough ticking over in there to be able to know what's going on in the game, which is good. Next game, Exeter Chiefs versus Stormers. Maybe not so much. Who knows what I'll be like in that one. I'll probably just be sitting here looking half asleep, but we get to sleep afterwards, so it's all good. Now Grant Williams going to be putting the ball high. And for this one to come down, Thomas Ramos curves into touch. Now Makazole Mapimpi considers taking the quick throw, and he does take it. They've said he was in front of the mark, so they do have to go back. New Zealand sees the sun first. Says Young 21. They do, so that means that I'm going to get to see the sun before I go to sleep. But the good news is, normally because it's winter at the moment, it's not too not too hot. I think Stormers going to dominate that, to be honest. They've got a good chance, the Stormers, up against the Exeter Chiefs. Like, to be honest, we saw their game up against the Harlequins, and Harlequins fought back extremely well. But I don't see the Exeter Chiefs having that same fight in them. Definitely not with missing Stuart Hogg. I feel like he was kind of that glue that held Exeter Chiefs together quite well. And Dupont goes off to the side. That is going to be a drop ball from Flamand. Be disappointed with that one, I would think. In the zone, you got this, Hamish. Here's Blues, Nate. Just a mistake from Toulouse. Starting to have a few more errors that you wouldn't normally see creeping into their game, but perhaps just feeling that pressure of the Sharks here. 10 points to 3. Be down at halftime, and that will be when we really need to see this French side dig deep and see what they can do. The unfortunate side of things is that if Toulouse managed to win, people will say that was because of the yellow card being a yellow rather than a red. Hopefully that's not the case, though, in terms of people saying that, but it's just I have seen enough rugby games to know that that will be the reasoning behind it. Now, Grant Williams, no, that's gone down on the front row. Not going to be able to use that one. French surnames are big in South Africa. Do not necessarily dislike them. Says Roloff. Too much movement. Carl Dixon says. Someone saying, let's go, boys. I can't work out who it is, though. It might be Thomas Detoy who was talking there that I could hear. Right, down. Ready to scrummage these two sides. Grant Williams will be feeding the ball in. Puts it in now. Big push from the Sharks again, though. They have been able to hold their own up against a big Toulouse pack, but they just lost it. That was terrible timing on my part. I jinxed them big time for the Sharks, but Toulouse able to get themselves the penalty. Now they've got the decision of whether or not they consider going for the 3 points here or whether you kick for the corner and look for the full 7. I feel like the 7 is the better option, but the Toulouse option will be to go for the 3. It will put them within a converted try. In fact, it will put them within a try, unsuccessfully converted, of being able to get back into the contest. See how fired up they were. I believe there was Richie Arnold there. Having a bit of a cheer to himself and his teammates. They will take on the 3 points, like I mentioned. It will be Thomas Ramos. And when you've got a guy with laser precision with the boot, it makes it relatively easy to be confident that this kick's going over. And it does. 6 points to 10 now in this game. Toulouse yet to get themselves a try. The Sharks just having the one that was Grant Williams who was able to score it. And it was a brilliant run up the middle of the field. Kerwin Bosch involved in the move as well. Now, it is going to be back to the halfway line. Sharks will win here. Says Tabella there. It would be a massive win for them, like I mentioned. But they don't exactly come into this game as huge underdogs, I don't believe. People know how strong the South African side can be. Just whether or not they can put it together on the road. And I will mention in the URC, on the road, they do struggle a little bit. But this is a Champions Cup. This is a whole different ballpark. Mainly because France aren't actually in the URC. So they haven't felt what it's like to play on French soil as a club side. That's a knockoff from Hiron Andrews. He may not feel what it's like again. But now, nice run forward, offload. Richie Arnold goes off to Cruz. Another offload to Pieton Malvaca. Seems like at the moment, the French side, they give away the penalty in the breakdown. I was going to say, it seems like they're playing like the Flying Fijians, just offload after offload after offload. Pimpy trying to milk an extra. I don't know what he was trying to milk there because he already had the penalty. He wasn't going to get a yellow card for holding a man's arm. Not very often anyway. And Detoy, only French surname in the squad, but good enough. Says a roll off there. Now Kerwin Bosch will kick it into touch. There may be a few empty seats on this near side of the stadium now that I look around at it. Oh, actually, no, that might just be the tunnels, in fact, sorry, rather than the empty seats. But Malvaca, it was actually, who was it? Was it Kerwin Bosch? Got over the ball, might have been Janse van Rensburg again. Now Hiram Andrews goes across to Williams. Werner Koch saw the dummy, almost made his way through. Offloading it back, Grant Williams, knock on the ground. Just decided to kind of dribble it between his hands like it was a basketball. Unfortunately, though, the separation was there. Haldix had no option but to call that one as the ball rolling forward. He has turned the time off. We are sitting 33 minutes, 33 seconds in this matchup between the two sides. I should mention after this game, we have got another match that will be the Exeter Chiefs taking on the Stormers. That will be a great game, and I cannot wait to see how it goes. The Exeter Chiefs, they will be at home at Sandy Park, but whether or not that has an impact, it's hard to say. The Stormers have got a strong side. Mani Leboch once again starting at 10. Damien Williams at 15, also in that lineup. Some big forwards. Backline looking strong. Exeter Chiefs, they've still got a pretty good lineup. They've got Henry Slade in that midfield, the English international, but will it be enough to be able to get themselves the win over the Stormers? Now, Antoine Dupont beat the ball in 40 metres out from their own line here, Toulouse. Did win the last scrum against the Fee. Again, they win one in their favour. They do not win that penalty, but they do win the scrum. Now Dupont, some quick stepping there. Graham Williams tries to shut him down. Now, another good carry forward. You can see that the Sharks are really looking to get those turnovers in the breakdown. As soon as they happen, they're onto it. That's a brilliant run from Mefo. Now finds the offload. Oh, Salah the dummy. Now Jansi van Rensburg misses the tackle of Intermac. Offload to Dupont. Inside ball to Ramos. But once again, the Sharks are not giving up. It's going to be a knock-on advantage now against Toulouse. That was terrific work from the Sharks scramble defense. That is the second time that they have scored, or second time that they have avoided a try from just continuing to chase down the men who are making the break. Good kick downfield from Bosch. That'll be about 25 metres out. The line break. This was looking like a classic set play Toulouse try, just like they've done throughout the top 14. But then Werner Koch came flying in and shut the whole thing down, said, no, sir, that's not happening today. Flying in Werner Koch. Now it is going to be a line out. And there are a serious amount of English, Dutch, and African surnames to the beauty of the Rainbow Nation, says Roloff. Ramos, he's disappointed. He thought he was through for the try. But Werner Koch. Oh, they're trying to say that Lukanyuan by diving on him. They say it's a red hand. So, yeah, I think the crowd were trying to say that by Lukanyuan landing on him, force the ball free. Oh, no, they're trying to say it was maybe foul play, knee in the head. I think he's tripped. Lukanyuan. I don't think there was anything cynical in it. I think he just he ran out of space and got his knee taken out from underneath him. The crowd, they're going to boo all they like, but I don't think they're going to get the result that they're after from said booing. Thomas Detoye. Whose accent is that? Oh, it might have been the TMO. It didn't sound like Sia Khaleesi. Oh, it might have been Gerbran Robler. I could hear. Right, line out now for France. Malvaca to throw it in. And like I mentioned, anyone who has got a side and then they have Jorge Marchand coming off the bench normally has some pretty good depth. Now nicely won by Toulouse in this rolling maul going. Sharks normally pretty decent at defending it. They've had to do so in the URC multiple times. Also up against the fellow South African sides. That will be the advantage though. They have managed to give away now. Dupont goes across, quick hands, brilliant work from Toulouse. Ramos hooks it round. Now for the corner, Juan Cruz Malia has been able to score the try, and Toulouse get themselves their first of the match just before the end of the first half. But the fact that Juan Cruz Malia is able to walk at the moment, like he got knocked out badly earlier on in this contest, but he came back from his HIA and just great low tackle made by Kolesi, just wasn't quite quick enough to be able to get him as soon as he started accelerating rather than when he was pretty much at the line. Sitting only 5 minutes out. Grounding just on the try line, which does constitute a try. Slams the ball down. He's going to have a very sore head tomorrow, though, I would think. Toulouse will now have the opportunity to add the extra 2 points. Thomas Ramos near the touchline. I mentioned that he was brilliant throughout the Six Nations, but this is a tough kick to be able to get from this angle. Of course, he'd like to do it, but I'm not sure whether or not it will be doable. And dang it, we was robbed, says Gareth. For which one? The knock-on one? Maybe. But was it the knock-on and the breakdown and then after that from the clearance? Maybe. That the one? That one is going out to the side. So we'll remain at 11 points to 10 now between these two sides. Great wide pass from Thomas Ramos. Got it out to Juan Cruz Malia as quickly as they knew that was coming. Says Fleshin in there as well. To be fair, I don't know if this is an annoying comment or not. So I just know it's not supposed to come across that way. But I think the Sharks, they probably did very well to not concede until then. No, that sounds more like a compliment. It sounded different in my head. But yeah, they did very well not to concede up until the 37th minute with the amount that Toulouse have been throwing at them. I've done well. And the Sharkies need to play Gareth. I will not be able to talk us out of this one. Roll off, but now there is going to be a bit of obstruction there from Makazole Mipimpi giving away the penalty. And now Toulouse will be able to kick this one down towards the touchline. Giving it the boot. It's gone into touch. Who's that? That's who it is, Jaminet. I couldn't work out who he was, but then the commentators helped me out big time, luckily. A little tiny bit that I can hear them for the TMO. Rory Arnold says that they are going to be going with number 8, I think that was. But I don't think that means they're going to Cruz. And where there's a will, there's an excuse to be made, says Gareth. Thrown into the front, Pietro Malvaca takes it nicely now. Rolling maul here once again for Toulouse. They've got an advantage for the player entering through the side that was against Norcia. Now Dupont tells the dummy, goes across now. Short ball to Aki. Barassi in the midfield. Now, doing well, Sirubai to stay on his feet. And Sharks getting skinned in open play. I can hear the ear muscle. Can hear the ear miles excuses coming. Canvas bid. And also, who do you think will win the Champions Cup? To be honest, even though Gareth's put not Leinster, I think even Leinster have got a decent crack. They're always right up there. But I would say, the South African side probably does have the potential to be able to win it. Even though it's their first season, they did it with the URC at the end of the day. It's just the fact that they're going to have away games that will make it so tricky. But that's the kind of challenge that the South African sides do enjoy. Looks like they are going to be going for the 3-pointer here right at the end of the first half after winning that penalty. Joining through the side. Hiron Andrews in fact, it was him who was penalised. He just joined it from the Toulouse side of the rolling maul. Now Ramos to make the score at halftime, 14 points to 10 in favour of Toulouse. Might be able to do so. Deep breath taken. And our choice, I will make the statement. Here's a roll-off. And also, Gareth, are you turning into a TAS analytics? Sorry, mate, couldn't resist. The selection, that kick is successful, so that will make the score now 14 points to 10 in favour of Toulouse. at halftime in this contest. So it's been a relatively back and forth encounter between these two sides. France, or Toulouse, sorry, having their moments of attack, bit of brilliance in there as well. But the Sharks, their defense has been solid, and also a magnificent try scored by Grant Williams. A lot of the credit needs to go to Kerwin Bosch there. Hello there, Kiwi lads and Rugby Rockers. Just working like a good old knackered workhorse. I've been so busy, I missed your commentary. Still slaving away. Says Ruth. And there's also, yeah, hopefully work is going well for you, Ruth. I think we're on to about the 6th live stream of the day, so it's not too bad at all for us at this stage. I just realized I've still got Werner Koch in the HSBC sevens. I'm having a stretch because this chair is not very comfy, but we might be switching soon. Still trying to work out what to do with the setup. To be honest, I was out in another room. Now I'm in this room, but I feel like I'm in the way in this room because it's kind of like I'm in the middle section of the wall and then there's like stuff either side. So I feel like ideally I want to move this somewhere else. Hello, all my friends under my armpits. That one. There they are. Look at them. My buddy. But yeah, I'm looking at maybe moving it somewhere else. Somewhere that is a bit more, I don't know whether it would be permanent or just somewhere that is a little bit more proficient streaming. And I'm hoping I'll be home on my couch by the next game. Can't wait. Amy says Roof. And how dare you say, how dare you? Says Gareth. So they are actually showing highlights of Argentina versus France in the Vancouver Sevens. That was a little while ago. But should mention that Uruguay making their way through to the top 8 quarterfinals of the competition. Argentina also making it through because they are going to be playing Australia, New Zealand playing Great Britain, South Africa playing Ireland for the 9th place quarterfinal game. So that'll be interesting because both sides not having their best tournament so far in Singapore. But plenty of room for improvement for that match. And also 2 of the other quarterfinal games, Fiji are going to be playing a side, Fiji, France, and then also Samoa versus Uruguay is the other game. And lots of festivals happening and foreign tourists buying tons of good clothing to lose, thump the Sharks, says Ruth. And yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. It's a tricky one to predict. I'm actually, while we are at halftime, I'm also going to look at the odds to see how they shape this one because Toulouse have a little bit of a lead here, just a little one, but a little lead is better than no lead. So we go like this. And we go like this. There we go. The Sharks to win this game are $5.50 underdogs. Even though they are only down by 4 points and showed that they fully have potential of being able to make their way over the trial. And we have got Go Toulouse, says Young, and halftime Smoko breaks and hot cuppa roll me blunts. Says a Blues Nate. And also we get their traitor, says Gareth. Is that me or Flesh? I assume me. Maybe. What did I do? Oh, moving location. No, I don't think it was the moving location. It was something after that, wasn't it? My brain is so slow at the moment. Like, not even joking. I don't know how I put sentences together, but somehow they just kind of happen. And I just sit here, just in the zone. We've got another game straight after this, ladies and gentlemen. That will be the matchup taking place between Ruth and there for Toulouse to thump the Sharks. That makes more sense. I should have put that together, shouldn't I? Who's Ruth's side? She's a Stormers gal, is she? You Stormers gal, Ruth? We'll be playing a little bit later on up against the Exeter Chiefs, of course. That will be a fantastic game. I'm looking forward to it. Sarkos, what does that mean? Hopefully nothing bad, but probably is something bad. So I apologize to anyone who might be offended if that is something bad. I will just say I didn't know. She's a Saders fan. That is true, isn't it? She does like the Crusaders. Who's your South African team, Ruth? You're from Cape Town, aren't you? Now, is it the Stormers that you like, or do you have another side from South Africa that you prefer? over said Stormers. Too far away from the second half and getting them back underway. Shark fin soup on the menu tonight, says Young. It'll be interesting though, because second half wise, it's going to be tricky because, like, Toulouse, I think will once again play the territory game, but they learned about halfway through that half, if you get it wrong, South Africa are going to run the ball back and they could score themselves a counter-attacking try. Do you think South Africa teams are getting better competitive games than New Zealand or Australia club sides going into the international season? More than likely, yes. They're getting to play multiple nations and, yeah, some very good informed teams at the moment that they are playing up against. So I would say to a certain extent, they are. When New Zealand play New Zealand, it's all well and good, but you don't really get those new tactics that other sides try and add, which does mean when you do come across those tactics, it can make it quite difficult to adjust so quickly. We go like this. We go like this as well. Also, we have got there Fab Guy Gareth and other sporting fans tuning into Kiwi Lads rock and roll commentary, and no mistake, by suggestive typing. There's Young there. I should mention, there's UFC on tomorrow, isn't there? Israel Adesanya going to be fighting Alex Pereira in that fight. I mean, Adesanya comes in his favorite, even though he is not the champion. Sorry, I was leaning in very far there, wasn't I? But anyone who follows the UFC wondering who's fighting on that card, Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. That'll be a very good fight. Kevin Holland versus Ponzinibbio. It's at 2 p.m. tomorrow. What's at 2 p.m. tomorrow? I should be sleeping at 2 p.m. tomorrow. That's at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Kiesa no longer fighting. Calvin Gastelum versus Chris Curtis. No, I shouldn't stay up, but do I buy the main card? Oh, but will they be finished by 4:30? Ladies and gentlemen, how long does the UFC main card normally go for like a big UFC event? Like UFC 287 is this one. Would it be finished by my first live stream, which is at what live stream are we doing first? I think we're doing South Africa Island. No, that's at 3:56. It wouldn't be finished by then. So I feel like it would be a waste to get the pay-per-view if I can't watch it live, unless I hide what happens in it until after I can watch it. And maybe feel the French will slow or slowly try to edge away on penalty kicks wherever possible. I think that is probably the tactic, as well as just keep them deep inside of the half. Because if the Sharks are in their own half, theoretically, it'd take a lot longer. Get to the other side. Sharks are frightening, though. There's a 50-50 so far, says Young. And depends what time the main event. So the main card starts at 2 p.m. So I guess depending on how quick those other fights go on the card will depend on, I guess, what time that next one starts. The Warriors are going to be playing the Knights as well, I believe. I'm not wrong. Oh, no, never mind. I think the Warriors play tomorrow, though, don't they? I think it does overlap. Second half. I think Dupont and Intermac, important combination because those two have been very prominent for France throughout their recent international success. Having Juan Cruz Malia out on the wing, Argentinian doing very nicely, even though he almost got knocked completely out. Thomas Ramos' kicking will be key for the French as well. Looking through at that side for the Sharks. I mean, then the Cox, he did a brilliant bit of defence. Same with the Makazole Mapimpi when he did get that opportunity, but I think it's going to be their forward pack, the front row, Umbanambe, Oxnasher, and Thomas Dutoy. If they get it right, they're going to be able to force the opposition backwards in the scrums, put that extra pressure on in a breakdown. Be absolutely massive for them. But do let me know your full-time score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Not all young. They are an endangered species as well. We will go like this and like this. I just want to quickly check. There we go. So halftime's been about 8 minutes or so at the moment. So they should only be about 2 minutes away from getting back underway, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The next one. They're just showing volcanoes. Volcanoes are one of those interesting anomalies. Anomalies. Yeah. That they're just so weird. They look like they're bubbling, so it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. But then it's like that stuff's really hot. Should have mentioned to anyone just tuning in now, I have not taken any substances or consumed any alcohol. It is just sleep deprivation that has caused me to be a little bit slower. That's going to be a great fight, though. Adesanya versus Pereira tomorrow. I think Kevin Holland up against Ponzinibbio will be a good fight as well. And then Gastelum on the prelims. Something that's quite exciting to be able to see. And also Sharks by 2 for the win, says Roloff. We've got the ads, so I believe we're getting close to the final ads. Will be taking place. There's some weird ads around. I'm just looking at roll, me join smoking up the tree. Mary Jane, she is all I need. Sharks by 3 or 5 points, says Blues Nate. So I did check the odds, and they are $6 underdogs here for the Sharks to be able to go on and get themselves the victory over Toulouse, which I think is a little bit harsh, just in a little way. Kerr has got the eyeballs. Hello, Kerr. How are you going, mate? You are doing well. I did see your thingy about she's a keeper. Did enjoy it quite a bit. I feel like I giggled at it for a bit too long because I was at that slightly sleep deprived stage. So I just had a bit of a chuckle to myself. But you're perfectly here for the second half, Kerr, because it is just around the corner. Like our yes trouble says Blues, Nate. First half, it flew by. Yeah, we'll see how the second half goes, whether or not it's fast or whether it's a little bit more slow paced, maybe more methodical from both of the sides. Captain Kerr. Oh, they're showing a Tom Hanks ad. Shall we do 10 while we're at halftime, Kerr? Can you name 10 Tom Hanks movies without Googling it? There you go. See whether or not you can do it. 10 Tom Hanks movies, no Googling, Kerr. That's my reversal quiz for you. Had some work to finish up. Missed the first half. I've had an easygoing day, so can't complain, says Kerr. I like easygoing days. I feel like it's weird to think that in a way, like it seems easygoing streaming wise, but like it's still busy. But it's like I'm busy sitting here. You know? Hi, says Blues Nate. Blues Nate is high, is what he has said there. You're just trying to explain lightning to me, and I feel like it's too late in the night to be able to fully understand it. Good afternoon, Kerr, says Sebastian. Right, second half back underway, ladies and gentlemen. These two sides now making their way back out onto the turf. The eyeball's ready for the second half. Isn't there a trick with sleepiness, right? I don't think I'm really that sleepy at the moment, but apparently with sleep, if you look up and then look normal, look up like 10 times, apparently that wakes your brain up or something like that. As some sort of trick that apparently helps. The Terminal, Sully, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, those are easy, aren't they? You've got Mail, Captain Phillips, Castaway, 2 more. Oh, you gotta have gotta have Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, people call me Forrest Gump. That's terrible Forrest Gump accent. Oh, gonna be kicked off by Toulouse. So I gave you one, Kerr, since you were so generous to me, but you need one more. There's a new one that's coming out now that he's in, but I'm not sure of the name of that one. I would be perched if I smoked up a tree. Says Young, and lightning comes from Zeus. No other logical explanation. Says Gareth. And now Grant Williams going to be kicking this one downfield. What's the touchline? Does go out. Toulouse now going to have themselves another line out. Saving Private Ryan and Da Vinci Code. There you go. If you can, Saving Private Ryan. He's got a lot of movies, doesn't he? Oh, Tom. Like, he's probably one that I could name close to 10. Like, I could probably name about 7 of the ones that you named. And then, like, he's probably one of about 4 actors that I could name 10 of their movies. Going to be rolling here now for Toulouse. Not really, though. It did break off the side. They have to use it in the midfield. It's gone to Arkey. And road to Perdition. If you haven't watched that as well, Werford FYI. Is that the new one or is that a different one? Yeah. Now, Toulouse going off now. Nice work from Intermac. He's going to be held up. Oh. Wait, did the referee not just start saying that he was down for the tackle and then he decided to take it away because he wasn't quite on the floor? Now the Sharks got the ball back. The Green Mile. Green Mile's apparently quite a good one. I've seen that a little bit, like little parts of it, not the whole thing though. Yay. Downfield from Roman Intermac. Now Kerwin Bosch. Nice bit of a step there from Bosch. He's been playing well. And what about Castaway? Best ever, says Roloff. Yeah, it's a good movie, Castaway. I've seen some of it. Not all of it once again. And afternoon also, he got distracted with the challenge road to Perdition. As old but gold. I feel like I need to start having movie days or like a movie night once a week. How I watch a movie that I should have already seen. That's going to be nicely claimed by Lebel. Going across now to Intermac. Trying to fend. Good tackle made by Jansi van Rensburg. Road to Perdition is a great movie. Says Gareth there. Sounds like it's got a bit of popularity. Who else is in it other than Tom? And the Mac. In fact, he wasn't needed this time. They do instead let Dupont kick it down the middle of the field. Kerwin Bosch looking for a possible torpedo. Knocked on by the Sharks. Now Dupont trying to pierce his way through. No, doesn't get out. Oh, that's going to be a Grant Williams penalty. Diving over the middle. And how many times did TLS turn over the ball? 7, 8 times. Says Young. I mean, there were quite a few in those breakdowns. They were really hurting them because there was probably about 2 or 3 that they should have been able to continue with, but just didn't quite work out for them. And Serenity is a great film. I haven't heard of that one, I don't think. An excellent commentary, brother, all the way from Montpellier. Welcome in, Shane. You are doing very well, mate. Now, Montpellier. Oh no, they lost, didn't they? Sorry, Shane. I think they lose in the last round to the Exeter Chiefs. No, they might have lost to Saracens. Someone anyway. Very good side, Montpellier. I love watching them play. I remember when they were in, I think it was the Challenge Cup, wasn't it? And they were just cleaning house. Throwing it in, stolen by the Sharks. Brilliant work there. In the line out, and Daniel Craig, Jude Law. Daniel Craig's the fellow who did some James Bond stuff, didn't he? With the casino? Is that him? Maybe. And yeah, they lost last week against Exeter, says Jane. So you'll be open, theoretically, Exeter go all the way? So that then it's like we lost to the eventual winners. I actually played Francois Pienaar in the film Invictus. So Invictus is about rugby. I know that much. Francois Pienaar. I feel like you're finding a lot of gaps in my knowledge, aren't you, Kurt? Which is like, the more you dig, the more you'll know that there are a lot of gaps. Papa Leon is a really good old school prison movie. Now, going back across. Oh, drop kick it there from Ramos. doesn't get it off the way that he would have liked, and it's going to be a 22 dropout. Last year, Montpellier knocked out the Quins for the Champions Cup by 1 point on aggregate. So I've got an over that one. And Matt Damon says, Connor, oh, now that you've said that, that does make sense, yes. Did they give him a South African accent? Like, did Matt Damon speak like Afrikaans or no? Or have any accent on him? 5 minutes already gone in the second half. Daniel Craig was the guy who did some James Bond stuff, Hamish. 2023. Oh, we all have gaps, just in different locations of life, says Kerr. Yeah, that's the thing. If you wanted me to do a countries of the world quiz with flags, I would probably get about 180 or so out of the 100 and whatever there is now. I always thought Matt Damon was too small for the role. There's Rolf there, great break of line now, inside ball, and it's gonna be Antoine Dupont goes to Ramos. He gets the little bit of approval point there from his teammate, and that will now extend the lead just a little bit more. He did quite well, in my opinion, for a Hollywood actor. There's Kerr, and enjoying the live commentary. Very funny. Snows fan and the Canary Islands, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Best movie ever, says Stuart. That is another one that I haven't seen. Yeah, anyone who doesn't know, my film knowledge is extremely limited. Like, I have so many great films that I haven't even got to watch yet. And hell yeah, challenge coming up, says Kerr there. Great inside ball. Ramos points to his teammate and says, "You beauty, Dupont. Get me through that gap." Now I'm curious about the odds because at halftime it was 6 for the Sharks. Now with that try, I would think it's going to be at least 11. If I had to guess, 13. There we go. Now Thomas Ramos. That kick over, his accent was so bad, worse than Leonardo and Blood Diamond. Do you know who played Captain Jack Sparrow? That's old Johnny, isn't it? Johnny Depp, is it? I think. And Sebastian Grama, if you remember that game, Marcus missed a relatively easy conversion to see out that game. I'm a Leinster man, by the way. Just living in beautiful South of France, Montpellier, says Shane. I feel like Sebastian will be sitting there going, no, it wasn't an easy kick. Did we commentate that game or did we watch that game? I think I watched that game and talked to Seb on Discord while it happened. Because we were talking about the fact that Harlequins were making too much of a gap. Benetton currently all tied up with Cardiff, says Kerr there. Yeah, a bit of a mistake there from Toulouse now, though, having a knock on their own 22. It looks like that actually ended up being an accidental penalty offside. Oh, good, Shane. I'm not having to go on Montpellier. It just hurts, you know. There's Sebastian there. Now the Sharks, the opportunity to go for the rolling maul. Aguvra Rubala. The ball in. Nicely taken by Rubala, now rolling forward. They have taken down themselves there, the Sharks. So it will be play on from 10 metres out from the line. Oxnashare gets wrestled down to the turf. Thomas the Toy, rush defence on him. Finding the offload back to Kerwin Bosch. Nelson space opening up. Here comes Vern the Cock with a nice step. Great acceleration. That man, ever since his days of sevens, Mbanambi, crashes at the line. Great work from France, almost in the breakdown. That would have been Jack Willis. Could have almost got that turnover. Now, Grant Williams goes off to Lukayo arm. Tackle, release. Or lâcher, I think it was from the ref. That must mean release in French. Now Colisi finds the offload to Vern the Cock. Oh, he dove at the line, but he was 5 metres out, and the ball's popped out in favour of Toulouse. That looked close to a forward pass. Pieto Malwaka just stalling this one. Looks like there's a relatively serious injury for the Sharks in the midfield. Now, this is bad. Depending on who this is. Oh, no, it's a head injury. Okay. That's still bad. Don't get me wrong. That is still bad. But it's not as bad as if it was something to do with like an ACL or a MCL or anything like that, because that means you're missing the World Cup if you have something like that. Oxnashad just getting a bump on the head. It's a tough man. I believe he'll be back up to his feet soon, but I think he might have just got a bit of a kink in the neck Lead of 333 at T-Seb, says Gareth. Lead of 335 at T-Seb. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Is that the English county cricket? I am excited for the Ashes, I should mention. When are the Ashes? They're getting closer and closer. I'm looking forward to covering that whole Ashes series on the channel each and every night that has taken place. Any of the CLs are bad? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was falling into him then, the cock there, and county championship, Lancashire versus Surrey. Gary's Bastards are winning. And all good, brother. I went to the European Cup final last year in Marseille. Marseille, I always say that wrong. A hard defeat against La Rochelle, amazing experience. Not a fan of Tom Hanks, lads. Says Shane. And that hurts, or that hurts stays with you. It's supposed to make you stronger, but I think that's crap. Listen, it sucks when my team loses. Still not used to it, says Roll Off. And Surrey versus Lancashire, Hamish, the big one. Is it live streamed on YouTube at the moment, Gareth? Out of curiosity, I might have to have a little peep at that game. I mean, Intermac, he turned into him, but Vernicock was also at his dick height, or like his crotch height, around that kind of upper thigh region. That was a slip because it's 3:15 a.m. Yeah, it was around there. So that's why it was a bit tricky. It's on Lanx TV, completely free. And Tim Honks is hit or miss with me. Says Kerr. Advantage to the Sharks now for the rolling maul. The ball's come out and Numbi. They're going back for the penalty on last day tomorrow. Says Gareth there, and who's going to win the World Cup? Very tricky one because I think it's going to be one of these four teams. France, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa. I feel like it's one of those four teams on that side. Well, it was the first half yellow card for head on head. So Juan Cruz Malea ended up smacking his face right on Makazole Mapimpi. Went off the field for 10 minutes, had his HIA, passed it somehow, came back on the field and then scored a try. Looks like Oxner Shan now has to make his way off the field, though, due to that head knock that he sustained a little bit earlier on. Have we got a challenge for the end of this live stream, Kerr, out of curiosity? Or is it only for the Super Rugby daytime ones with the boys? Yeah, I said no try. It was a knock on in that case. And yeah, just scrolling forward. It actually did drop that ball high from the USA. Just got off work, says Robert. Hopefully you did enjoy your day at work. Now you got a nice little break for having to go back either for the weekend or maybe you do go back tomorrow. Most yellow cards in a single game in which team? Argentina's got to be up there, don't they? They always get yellow cards. Penalty. Oh, double blow of the whistle. This might almost end up as a yellow card. I think it's just going to be a warning, though. And thank God you said that. I thought I was the only person in the world who isn't a fan of Tom Hanks, says Felician. And I guess New Zealand will win. They're peaking at the right time from an Irish fan, says Step there. It's tricky, isn't it? Because Ireland, they've had a very good run here the last couple years. And you hope that it isn't that saying of peak too soon. You hope that they are able to continue it on and get further than they ever have before. It's a music round challenge, song title, and you got to give the band name. All right. There we go. I think we're going to get Ireland in the pool. They do not have the pedigree we do, says Roloff. Although they've got the ability to beat any side on their given day. The Irish, you cannot underestimate them. Canada, Cardiff, 20 points to 13 up at the moment, and New Zealand going to get the French for the same reason, says Roloff. Now it is going to be available at the back for Dupont. Taking his time here, making sure the ball is coming back. A good boot. Well, way downfield towards the halfway line. Brilliant clearing kick. And Ireland out on the pool stages to correct the world order, says Gareth. Also, you're saying South Africa, Scotland. And number of yellow cards is 5, and it's Southern Hemisphere team. And it's not Argentina. Is it the Aussies? An Ireland World Cup winner, says Dinesh. And the French home ground advantage gives the ref an biased decision-making, says Bonga. And also Samoa. Oh, that's a good shout, actually. If Samoa or Fiji might not be a bad choice. Flying Fijians probably have had 5 yellows in a game. Now I think about it. That's a great run from Buota Chamberlain, and he's got the try. Sharks are back in it now, 21 points to 15. And that will change the odds a little bit, I believe. Or at least it should have. They were $13 underdogs. They won't be anymore. They're probably about maybe $5 underdogs at that point. And also, we should not count out the Aussies. And also, Gareth, you're close, lad. Says Kerr and OO. This one's getting interesting. And yep, Fiji, says Kerr. And also, flashing with the winky face. From Shane, let's go. The Sharks. Here's Blues, Nate. Yeah, this one could be going down to the wire. Exactly what we want to see close. So it must be Tonga then. Here's Gareth. Now, this is an important kick because this gets it so that even if South Africa score, but they miss their conversion, they can still get themselves in the lead. But Kerwin Bosch, if there's ever a time to get an important kick, it is certainly the first ever Champions Cup. Us Aussies followed by the Irish. There's Michael in there. Decent kicking day today, Kerwin Bosch. I believe he's 2 from 3, which isn't too bad at all. It's being taken though now. Taking his time, making sure that he gets this one relatively close. And he boots. And he succeeds. It has gone over from Kerwin Bosch. Very nicely done. That'll make the score now 21 points to 17. Come on, Sharks. You can do it, says Gareth. And your Sharks are now $16 underdogs. Or sorry, $6 underdogs, I should say, rather than 16. So they keep on fighting back quite well. And they're only 1 try away from getting the lead here in this contest, which I think would then very much confuse the odds makers for this game. It's going to be nice work from Nortje to take it for South Africa. Sorry, for the Sharks. I've been told to use it now. Williams kicking this one towards the touchline. They are talking about the travels that the Sharks have had to go through to get to this matchup. So to be this close in a game up against Toulouse is actually already a pretty large accomplishment. But an even larger one is to get themselves the victory here, which is exactly what they will be after. I'm thinking Sharks are clinching this in the last 10, says Kerr. Be a decent chance. And as long as it's close for the last 10, it will be anyone's game as well, which is what we kind of want. Did their bastard Burns declare yet, Gareth? Here's Sebastian. Now it's going to be Malia. Able to clean it up. Lukanyuan makes the tackle on him. Doesn't get the hands on the ball. Now kicked him behind from the Pomp, but managed to read that one nicely. Marcus Olimapimpi. Juan Cruz Malia gets him around the bootlaces. Reminding me of the Rugby Championship. That's going to be coming up this year. And that will be only 1 round per team up against each other. And doesn't seem so. I was thinking at 350 he would, says Gareth. But now it is going to be Lukanyuan. All ripped away in favour of the Toulouse boys again. Now pass on the outside. Here comes Aki in the midfield. Now, he broke that tackle way too easy. Now Juan Cruz Malia. He's nailed there. But he's made it into the corner. There's going to be a bit of push and shove there. By the looks of it, it's kicking off because of that big shot that was being put in. I don't know why France is so angry, though. Because he was putting in the big shot, but it wasn't like cynical. It was just because he was trying to put him into touch. Surely they'll have to bowl before stumps. There's Sebastian, and also fingers crossed, and legs come on the Sharks, but that will be the try now for Toulouse. Did get him a little bit high. But I'm not sure if they'll say anything more than the penalty. And minimum 10 overs before the end of play, surely. There's Gareth. Okay. So it's Jansi van Rensburg. Charges over Argentinian Malia. Yep. Juan Cruz Malia. We was robbed, says Gareth. I haven't said completely that it's Okay. So Dupont's asking for the penalty. Referee said that he will have a look for him. Now they do have to decide whether or not this is worth anything more than a penalty, perhaps. I don't know whether or not they can give it as a penalty as the kickoff. I don't think they would. And I was like, hi, all says Richard. Welcome in, Richard. Hope you are doing very well, mate. We have got another live stream just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, for the Stormers taking on the Exeter Chiefs. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be going right through the night. We've still got another 3 hours of being awake. Currently 3:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. Ramos to line up this kick, and it's just away to the right. Still having a nice lead, though, here for Toulouse. Just like that, Sharks back down to $12. So it's pretty much they're going in increments of about 6 or 7. Eddie Jones comment, New Zealand have the 3 best academy schools in the world, Tonga, Samoa, and Fiji. Cheeky bugger, says Shane. How you doing? The next match? We certainly are, yes. Quite a bit of push and shove going on there between the sides after the try was scored. And typical South Africa robbery. Excuses in 26-17 is never enough. If we play against the ABs, going to use the same reasoning for this game. There's the roll off. Looks like there's still an injury here at the moment. Was it Ben Tipperwhy? He's made his way out there. That is for Jansi van Rensburg. 21 minutes remaining. If your snot box still works, then the tackle ain't high. There's Warren. That is one that I've never heard before, but I guess in a way, slightly makes sense. Slightly. But now, going back across here, see Khaleesi trying to bump off the tackle attempt. I believe that was Pierre-Louis Barassi. Brilliant counter-ruck there from Toulouse. They've got the ball back, and they seem like they're really turning up the momentum now. Going to be Antoine Dupont. Now, I should mention that Toulouse last week, they knocked out the Bulls. And a very good win, winning that game by about 15 to 20 points, I believe it was. They're looking to do it again up against another South African side, and perhaps they could just keep on knocking sides out back to back to back, depending on the draw, which we have actually got here. I can show you all. That's the draw that we've got. So, pretty much the gist of it is, Toulouse in their next game will be facing Leinster if they win this one. I believe that is correct. Yeah, it would be Leinster versus Toulouse on one side of the draw, and then the winner of La Rochelle versus Saracens taking on the winner of Exeter Chiefs versus Stormers, which is just around the corner. So theoretically, Toulouse, if they can somehow beat Leinster, could get the chance to face all 3 South African sides. But Makazole Mapimpi offload to Grant Williams, and that might change the match again. Sharks back into it a little bit more. It's just going to keep on being a seesaw. South Africa, that will get them a bit closer. They'll only actually be down by 2 points due to that misconversion of Thomas Ramos. Just makes the game that little bit tighter. Looks like there's another player down as well. I can't tell who that is for Toulouse. Oh. Okay, they've actually said that there might have been a 4 pass to Thomas Dutoy. Or is there? Nope, they've said it's okay. Drew Leinster and Toulouse must-watch game. It's going to be an exciting one. Do not give us the road with 20 minutes left. H says Roloff. And also we have got there who gets the home advantage if Toulouse go through. I believe it would be Leinster. Oh, they want to review this one. They want to check the 4 pass. Kuhlenbosch took the kick quickly to try and rush it so that the referee wouldn't get a chance to check it out. And whoa. Right, here we go. This is going to show it. Grant Williams. 4 pass to Thomas Dutoy. That's going to be disallowed, I think. Yeah, I believe Leinster get it. Of course, forward says, Young, good morning, Kiwi lads. The snail just up. Oh, Toulouse in front just. You mean Leinster versus Sharks? There's Gareth. So, Ryan Janssen van Rensburg He's actually getting put on a stretcher at the moment after going for that big challenge near the touchline. Right, it's going back for the forward pass, so that will take away that try of the Sharks, and they go back down to 17. But that was certainly a perfect opportunity to get back into the contest. They just didn't quite get it right. Okay, Sia Khaleesi just asking the questions there about whether or not it was too far back. They've got there that it's Lukanyuam, but it's not Lukanyuam. It's Yancey van Rensburg because it was Ben Tupperway who went on the field. You were robbed again. Gavin now backwards. Says Nate. 18 minutes remain. Does anyone have a good free rugby streaming site? Thanks. Here's Shane. Tricky. Very tricky for free because a lot of them, like you'll have pop-up ads and everything like that on. But I believe if you can set yourself to Ireland with a VPN, Shane, if you've got a VPN, that might actually help you out big time because you'll be able to access them through, I think it's RDS. No, not RDS. Something player. That I'm sure someone from Ireland will be able to help us out with in terms of the name, and I believe that that is a free option. That is if you've got the VPN to start with, or else you will be paying for the VPN as well, which is not good because you want it free. My bad, Gareth. RTE, that's the one. I knew it had an R in it, but I was going to say RDS, but that's the stadium, isn't it? I've been told to use it. Pepsi Buthelezi now out on the field for Noche. Ramos plays half, goes off to Richie Arnold. Try first row sports. Sometimes it's hit and miss. There's Shane there. I guess it just depends on the game a little bit, doesn't it? RTE. Try is Hunter. But as Hamish says, a lot of game, or it's like a game of whack-a-mole with all the pop-ups. There's Steep and thanks, brothers. There's Shane, and the ref and TMO should be called Bonnie and Clyde. There's Gareth. Now we see, I believe that was Cyril Bahi. In fact, that would have been El Dahiri. Ball was dropped by Machazoli Mapimpi. Is, of course, disappointed again. I tried the spoof location to Dublin left yesterday. The UK didn't work for me. Says Anthony. So I think sometimes it does depend a little bit on what the app is as well. Like some apps have the ability of stopping you, like Sky New Zealand. You cannot access that no matter where you are in the world if you've got a VPN on. RTE can't get it in France. The RTE player is blocked here. So your only other option in France, unfortunately, is probably what's it called? Player something. It's a penalty to the Sharks. Premier Sports, I think. But unfortunately, that is a paid subscription one. Bonnie and Clyde film with Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones is a fellow who does acting. I know Tom Jones, he sings It's Not Unusual. But I don't remember what Tommy Lee Jones looks like. Massive push there from the Sharks. Bonnie and Clyde film with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. Says Kerr. Two other guys who I should know who they are, but my brain does not let me know. I'm starting to run a little bit low for the Sharks. This game, they are going to have the line out. Flow Sport player. Flow Sport's a little bit of a tricky one because we've had people in the past who have said that they've been on Flow Sport and it's just completely cut out, unfortunately. And Highwaymen, wasn't that Costner? There's Gareth. In Tupperware, moving forward 2019. There's Kerr. Now Hiron Andrews, all straight on the ball. Pieto Malvaka. Oh, gives away the penalty. They say that his hands were on the ground first. Like your Kanyo arm was trying to take it quickly. Grant Williams still considering it. Yes. There's Gareth there. Oh, tell you what, the replay says almost otherwise. There was half a second that he did drop a hand actually in front of the ball before going onto it, but yeah, I don't know. I think Piotr Malvaka may have been a little bit hard done by there. Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face in Batman Forever. It's another movie I have not seen. Oh, Okay, the Sharks are actually going to be going for 3 points here, trying to get themselves within the 7 to close out the game with the try rather than closing it out with the penalty kick. Should be a nice easy one for Kerr and Bosch though. 22, in fact 18 metres out. Gone over. Seb totally forgot he was in there. Woody Harrelson isn't his name anymore. He is Tallahassee, excuse the spelling. Says Gareth. I feel like there are a lot of movie references I'm completely missing, aren't there? There's Neil Powell. Making decisions for the Sharks. Up in the box, good decision, Sharky, says Roloff. It is until, like, if Toulouse score again now, or get themselves a penalty and then kick a 3, because then you're just in the same spot that you were. And Two Faces couldn't remember either of them. Sebastian, and now it's going to be taken nicely by Pepsi Butalesi. Or a little bit further, up to about 25 metres out from their own line. Looks like Grant Williams is going to be rolling it up. Oh, the penalty goes the way of the Sharks. Grant Williams was taking about 5 years to be able to take that one. Now Seo Kulesi, look for the miracle offload. Doesn't find it. It's gone backwards. Pito Malvaka does pick it up. And now it's going to be available for Toulouse again. Dupont goes across now. First receiver was Ramos. Quick hands now from Toulouse. Nice fend. Just send it back inwards. Aki now big run from a big man. It's a loose ball. Oh, almost gets his head kicked off there. Bosch kicks it away. Now Ramos says it was taken back in, but it is going to be curling towards the touchline, and that will be 5 metres out from the line. The Sharks now find themselves with the line out. Jaws is an epic Shark movie. There's Roloff and fire up the Sharks. There's Blues Nate there. A nice kick. There's Young. Yeah, it was downfield. Ramos, they said that he took it back. Gets it in to touch. The crowd feel that it was a 50-22, and I believe he feels it was too. So the referee, did he say take him back, or will he take that back so that he can have? And Kerwin Bosch is not happy whatsoever. You can see the grumpy face on him. Willis going off the field for that scene. And also, was it too late for the Shark to get another try? Says Spider-Man. There's still a chance. It's just if Toulouse score now, it's going to really hurt them. And they're looking close. 5 metres out from the line. Malvaka, they're getting forced slowly sideways. A few of those Sharks men almost have to pre-engage. So now Dupont with the step almost goes himself, finds the offload up to Pietro Malvaka. And that will be another try for Toulouse in this contest. And also we have got there, come on, treat them like you did Munster Sharks. Fire off Sharks, says Nate there as well. So Pietro Malvaka does score the try. Like I mentioned just a little bit ago, it's all well and good taking a 3, but if you can see the try straight after, it kind of takes away the point of that 3, because either way now they're going to need a little bit more, including 2 converted tries. And come on, the Sharks, you can do it, says Dion. Great offload from Dupont. Gives it off to Malvaka, who almost looked like he was going to start doing the worm as he crossed the line of flowers, plants and trees that are emblems of international rugby teams. Give you a clue with Canada and Japan. Flowers, plants, and trees. I feel like Japan and Canada were the easy answers, weren't they? Fiji have that tree, don't they? Kind of. England have the rose. That's about all I've got at the moment. Oh, we have New Zealand. That's the silver fern, isn't it? Ireland have the clover. Says Step there. This ref can get easily influenced by this French crowd. Says Bus. One's gone over. That will now make the score 33 points to 20. The Oaks, brother. There's Sebastian there. Also, we have got there Tonga as well. And can see Exeter putting the Stormers out later as well. And Ireland, not the Clover, but close. Says Kerr. And also Scotland has the Thistle. How we can do it, or we cannot do. New Zealand thinking now, even if the Sharks F this up, says Roloff. And now the Sharks already back, trying to get the ball inside of the opposition 22, but he does have it available now. Roll back a little bit further here. Antoine Dupont. Puts the ball high. Into touch. Ooh. Bit of a communication issue there. Pepsi Buthelezi saying, I want the ball, throw it in quickly. And I think the comment from Biota Chamberlain was, use your eyes, there's a guy there, even though he was quite far away. One more try, Toulouse will then be up by 20 plus points. Sharks need a miracle. Just have our legs, or have to cross our legs, cross our fingers, and cross our eyes. At least we did better than the Mutants. Says Gareth, and the Magic one are not included, or Magic one not included. Says Nate. Now line out here for the Sharks. 9 minutes on the clock to get 2 converted tries. It is definitely possible. Nicely taken by Vincent Tachuka. That's going to be knocked on. No, in fact, sorry, it went straight sideways for Vernicock. Graham Williams now going off into the hands. Oh, has been top wide now. Lucanio trying to break his way through. And when will they put a ref at the French broadcasters? France must be the most corrupt rugby nation ever, says Bus. Obviously not happy with the score at the moment. I think the penalty count's actually pretty even, though, which is the one that's a bit of a talking point, because both sides, I believe, have almost been penalised just as much as each other in this game. Now, Kerwin Bosch kicks it in behind. Nicely taken there. Now, Ramos kicks it off the left boot, nowhere near as strong on that one. And 10 to go, Sharks about to ramp up, says Kerr, and IQ lead, says Barry Green. Welcome in, Barry. Hope you are doing very well, mate. Now Chamberlain goes across. Oh, Makazoli Mapimpi's dropped that ball on. The referee can have nothing to do with that part. Now it is going to be back across to the right-hand side, inside ball from Toulouse. Vincent Tachuka trying to make the tackle, but couldn't quite get to him now. Antoine Dupont showing off his class, gives it to Ramos. And that will be another try now for Toulouse. And that will now definitely seal the deal, we would think. 33-34 to the final. Says Kerr there. And let's see how much he survives this time round. The Sharks are actually drowning, says Young. A nice try, says Flesh in there. Yeah, now momentum certainly going in favour of Toulouse. 18 points different. Pimpy just dropping that ball, giving it straight back into the hands of the Toulouse boys, and then they just went wide. Aki, nice pass, inside ball as well, and damn it, says Kerr. And Dupont just using his class to find the offload to Ramos. 18 points. This might become 20 here very shortly. And dang, a step too far, but good for most parts considering, says Gareth. And yeah, they did mention about it before the game, like South Africa, for this matchup, they got their 24 hours of traveling, a day or two to be able to prepare. So a lot of players, like, of course, they won't like excuses. The South African side, if you try and make excuses for them, they'll say, no, we just didn't play good enough. But yeah, they would have still been a bit jet lagged for this contest. It's a tough one to head up north, but they still put in a valiant effort for that first half against Toulouse, and they've still got time left to be able to put in a valiant finish, but only 6 minutes remaining now in this one. We've got 45 minutes till the next game kicks off. That will be the match between the Stormers and the Exeter Chiefs. And damn, says Barry Green. And there's damn, my prediction is spot on, mate. Says Danston, and also we have got there. The Box lost their first game at international entry against French in 1993. You did well, boys. And to lose by 20 plus, I called this, says Danston. And the Shark blown up, says Spider Mick. And there as well. That's going to be nicely taken by Toulouse. Being told to use it now. Going back across. Looking to use up as much time as they can. Back into the pocket. Now into Mac will kick it downfield. And it was the same week for the European Council. Exactly right. So it's one of those ones that I know that they mentioned it on the commentary, but they would have been, like you said, the same last time round for the round of 16. A lot of fun. And also shark fin soup. No show off. There's Gerber now. It's going to be Siakalisi with the ball. But that is just something that is going to happen a lot more traveling. That is something that South Africa would have known by joining the European Champions Cup, by joining the URC. They were going to have to travel north and they were going to have to put a lot of hours into flights. In reward, they will have some teams going with them as well. And cheers for bringing that out, Fleschen. And also we have got there, no, he's waited and called it, Kerr. His Blues, Nate, now it is going to be close to the touch line, but does just stay in the field of play. Now, Viota Chamberlain kicks it downfield, goes into touch, not too far down the park either. And Captain Kerr, more quizzes until the next game, please, says Blues, Nate. Now, Ramos going off to the short side. Nice pass. Here comes another chance for Toulouse. Dupont finds his pass on the outside, and it is another one. Just looking a little bit too easy now for Toulouse near the end of the contest. Stormers by 6+ points later on. There's Danston. So 6+. Is that like, so if they win by 50, Danston, would you say that you called it? Or like, is it like 6 to, I feel like you need a margin of maybe like 5 or 10 points that you say it will be by. Because like 6+, you open up the door for a lot of options. And Munster going from 4 degrees to 25, same for the Quinn Sepp. There's Flesham, but yeah, great work from Antoine Dupont, who is now really stepping up, finding his assists time after time. 45 points to 20 and was never going to be good. Shark ran out of juice. There's Spider-Meek there as well. And now 20+ for the Stormers. There's Blues Nate over the Exeter Chiefs. Another kick chance. I might go back to the comments on earlier on in this game. See, I called it, says Danston. Although it's still the question for the next game. 6+. Is that like 6 to 11, 6 to 16? Like if the Stormers win by 30, do you go, yeah, boy, I got it, nailed it, smashed it out the park? Although I will say you were close with this game. I will give you that. Sharks blown away, says Barry Green. Yeah, late in this game, Toulouse look like they still want to keep on playing for a lot longer. I don't like the Stormers, but let us support them. This is it. There's Roloff. Yeah, the last side in the Champions Cup. Going to be the Stormers. So they're going to have a big opportunity up against the Exeter Chiefs. I'm going to say 6 to 13. And Hoggy on the bench tonight. Surprised he's even there, says Kerr. Yeah, I guess it's going to be an interesting one when they decide to bring him on. Stormers to win by 1+. Says Gareth deep into the 22. Now kicking it back downfield here. You can hear the crowd really erupting for this contest. 47 points to 20. They have home field advantage, lads. I reckon it's going to be close. Says Sebastian. Yeah, they wouldn't have had to travel. Very useful. Oh, Kieran van Veeren. And also, what's the current odds with the Stormers game, says Roloff. Current odds for that one is sitting at Stormers $1.52 favourite, Exeter Chiefs $2.60 underdogs. The ball is back in the hands of Toulouse again. Someone's going to miss Foddy's expertise in the breakdown. I will see if Ben Dixon steps up. Yeah, that's the thing. Not having Dion Forêt is huge. Well, that's massive, Gareth. And Sharks to win by disqualification. There's Kerr there. I feel like there's a way. Like, oh no, it would be no contest though, I guess, if enough players got yellow carded that the referee was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. I think that's happened before in lower levels. They have massive punch-ups. That's going to be another big run into Max. Sells the dummy, goes himself. Another try here for Toulouse, and they'll put 50 points now on the Sharks. And just the 1A. There's Blues, Nate. And also such a gambler, says Gareth. I'll go Stormers by 3, says Seb. Prediction there as well, but that is another try. This time, Raman Intermac goes in. What do they have coming off the bench? Says Danston. Not sure. I haven't actually looked through the benches yet. I've just seen the starting sides. And if just take us around the corner and shoot us. And I'm going Stormers. Exeter could easily, or could be naked after last week, and our Sharks are embarrassing. Says Barry there. Hey, it's cool. We can lose this thing and rest the box. You see the celebration from Thomas Ramos. My goodness, the Sharks have let themselves go like that. Yes, yep, yeah, not the way you want to finish a match. Not exactly finishing on a high. And well, one more shut eye. Catch you guys later. Bye. See you, Spider Me. We will see you later on. But the sevens all of tomorrow that we will be covering on the channel, including the first match, which is Ireland versus South Africa. Thomas Ramos got man of the match. Feels like we're at that point. Danston didn't call it. 20 plus doesn't cover 30 plus as well. Max 10-point margin, says Q. I think, yeah, we're getting a bit closer that way, aren't we? This sucks, says Roloff. That will be the end of the game. 54 points to 20. I blame Ben Tupperwhite went downhill when he came on. Although you should blame the Janse van Rensburg for injuring himself. Because he wouldn't have had to come on the field had Rancy not hurt himself badly. Robert has got the frowny face there, but it does mean now that Toulouse will be making it further in this competition. Sharks tried in the second half. I know this really sucks, says Barry. And there as well. But nonetheless, I think we are almost at the end of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Our next one, like we mentioned, will be taking place at 4:25 a.m. New Zealand time. So that is in about 30 minutes time. Well done to the Cheese Boys. There's Gareth there. They'll be going on to face Leinster now in the semi-final. That is quite the fixture that we are going to get to see when it does end up taking place. I believe that game is in about a month's time or something like that. I think they go back to the URC for a little bit. And also, if you could go to dinner with any player, past or present, who would you order? Or wait, if you could go to dinner with any player, past or present, what would you order? All day breakfast. That's what I'll go with. Or a breakfast buffet if it's an option. Star of the match, why not stick with man in the match? Oh, well done, brother. Great commentary. There's Shane there. Appreciate that a lot. Maybe it was just lost in translation. They did have it in French down the bottom. Maybe I misinterpreted it. Possibly. And I was like, well, Leinster versus Toulouse will be class. It will be. It will be an absolutely outstanding game when it takes place. And I cannot wait to see who gets the better of that one. At least their Curry Cup, maybe UIC squad can go there, says Barry. Now talking to Ramos, I'll be honest, I do not speak French, so I do not know what he is saying. I mean, he's getting to the Heineken Cup next year first. And think about it, Kiwi. Barry. So at least their Curry Cup, maybe URC squad can go there. For the next year's comp, is it, Barry? The Sharks, better luck next year, that one. Maybe. Oh, the Paradise City, name the band. AC. Oh, hang on. Guns N' Roses. I almost blew that, didn't I? I almost made my. Wait. It is Guns N' Roses, isn't it? Good job to lose now. Someone could dispose of a Leinster, says Young. I'm trying to think of Paradise City. It sounds like Sweet Child of Mine, which is Guns N' Roses. Can't really sing it because it's night time. Yeah, Leinster loss. I will make this all okay, says Gareth. Almost blew it, says Gary. Yeah, I was halfway through. I said Ace, Guns N' Roses. And no, it's just too much political correctness in the sport. With star of the match, it should be man or woman of the match. What do you think? Says Shane there. Yeah. Object, no, not object. Thing of the match. That way it covers everything. I guess star does cover it. I'm saying since contest's over early, maybe they can be assisting the Curry Cup, maybe 1.9 to 5. 9 to 5. 9 to 5. That Dolly Parton. No, 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Is it Dolly Parton? No, it's not Dolly Parton. Working 9 to 5. Maybe Dolly Parton. You're right, Gareth. And also we have got there. It's very easy to win on a home ground, says Elise. And that is why you work hard in the earlier games to then have higher qualification marks is always the best way of looking at it. Although the South African sides also did decide that they wanted to sacrifice home field advantage to be able to go up to Europe to play the quarterfinals semis and the finals. So yeah, I wonder whether or not that was the best choice to be able to make. And yep, Dolly, there's Kerr in there as well. Nonetheless, I think we're almost at the end of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. We might be, oh, we are starting 5 minutes. Pour some sugar on me. It's like it's a gangster song. Well, not a gangster song, but to my feet. That's how the song goes. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, what's that? I don't know who sings that song, but I know how the song goes. Hmm, not sure. And you naughty boy, you're not allowed to say that, says Flishin. Next game, like I said, Stormers, Exeter Chiefs. Could be close. Exeter Chiefs going to have the home ground. And also, we have got that. What you speaking about, Kiwi? It is Kerr giving us a quiz in terms of song names, trying to predict what they are. Or sorry, not trying to predict the games, or not trying to predict the names, but predicting the group. Def Leopard. I wouldn't have gone on that, to be honest. I didn't have that in me. Gangster's Paradise. Gangster's Paradise. I know how the song goes, but I don't know who sings it. I'm terrible at names for those ones. Yet rugby players, other than anytime you ask questions, I normally am pretty good at naming them. Yeah. Gangster's Paradise. I'm trying to think. It's got some gangster tunes, doesn't it? Coolio. Is that the name of the band who sing it, or is that just you being hip, mate? There's a random video going on at the moment with a man singing with children. Coolio is the rapper, Never Gonna Give You Up, Rick Astley. We had a joke about that earlier on that I did read off the phone, didn't I? I was like, why do you not? This is a fun one. Why do you not give Rick Astley your copy of all of your Pixar movies? Because he's never going to give you up. No, was that how it went? Not quite. I think my brain stopped working. But next live stream, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be fun. Ring of Fire, that's by old do fella. Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, real person, isn't he? Living in the gangster's paradise is Barry Green. Yeah, Ring of Fire, it's old Johnny Cash in it. And thank you, coffee 4 a.m. for you, says Robert. Or probably just water. I'll probably scoff some water. You can't really scoff it. Have some water, and then set up the next live streams for tomorrow day. The day it is, but we'll end up doing those. Give noises. Right, I'm going to get up, have a walk around my lounge to wake myself up for the next stream, ladies and gentlemen. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this live stream, sure to leave a like and subscribe. Basket Case, I've never heard of that song that I can think of anyway. So I don't think I'll have a decent crack being able to name that one. But yeah, we will be back in 25 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It has been awesome seeing you guys here. Hamish on the ropes, says Joseph. Yeah, sleep deprivation. It's a lovely thing. I won't put my head doing pretty well. Are you doing pretty well, Kerr, or is that the name of the brand or the band? Have a switch in water, says please, Nate. In there as well. Yeah. Uh, why does Tom Robinson have a, he's got a whole heap of bondage on him? But interesting and enjoy, says Cass. So yeah, nonetheless, I will see you all in about 25 minutes time for the next live stream. See you all in